Oh, oh yeah, you're set.
Okay. Hello everyone, and yeah, I should be like, okay, yeah. Hello everyone, thank you for giving me the opportunity to play for you for this event, for this charity marathon. So I'm Jujstme, and we are going to run in Sonic Racing today. Why is this game a meme game? I guess you will see this later. So first of all, let's start with the main menu and let's go to the option, because for some reason this game, especially the PC version, has some graphical glitches that they disappear if you just enter and exit the options menu, and nobody really knows why, but this is just terribly coded game for some reason. So we are going to do the team races category, which means that we are going to basically run through all the races, all the tracks in this game. There are 21 tracks, and we are going to use the team races race type, because there is also of course standard race, but team races basically puts you in a team of 3 people. Of course 2 of them will be AI controlled, which means they are going to be so terrible sometimes, and basically that's it. So the technique in this game is quite complex and really hard to master, but most of this game is basically the same as the previous game that was published by Sumo Digital, which is Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, which means that the engine is exactly the same. There is a very minor modification that have been made to the physics engine, which means that someone who is good enough in ASRT should be good enough in TSR too. And as far as the character choices, we are going to use Zavok for the majority of the run, because as you see in the stats, the boost is absolutely high, the boost stat, and even if the speed stat is low, but in this game basically speed doesn't matter. The only thing you want is boost. So the run is going to now start in 5 seconds, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so most of these races these tracks are kinda boring sometimes, but some of them are really nice. And okay, this was a really good start, because getting ahead of the AI as soon as possible is one of the first and the most important thing you want to do in this game. And the other thing is that, as you can see, the team mechanics allows us to basically do some stuff like I mean, the only mechanic you are really seeing probably for the entirety of the run is the item trading mechanic. So I can basically trade my items with my teammates, which accumulate some points which are useful for the team ultimate move that I will do probably at the end of this track. And also I can, oh okay, that was lucky. I can also get some really useful items sometimes from my teammates, which is something that I hope will happen quite a while. Because most of these items are useless in first place, of course, but sometimes you can get some really useful stuff, like the triple boost item, which is completely random, and I don't know what might trigger it, because there is really no logic behind it. I mean, it's supposed to be a logic behind it, but I am one of the people who researched this game actually, and I have reason to believe the RNG is sometimes not working properly, because it looks like it gets stuck sometimes for whatever reason, and the RNG just stops being RNG. By the way, this race was pretty solid, to be honest, and we are going to activate it on Ultimate now, which gives us a really nice speed boost. But in the majority of the tracks, the team ultimate is something that we will try to keep up to the end of the track, because it's one of the 2 only sources of invulnerability, which means that it can protect us from items when the AI starts shooting us whatever they find useful. And there are actually 2 items which are basically unavoidable, One is completely unavoidable, and another is almost unavoidable when the AI gets to use it. And those are the Lightning Strike and the Earthquake Wisp, because the items in this game are just wisps for whatever reason, which is, I mean, it's hard to understand what they do the first time you play the game, because you see some wisp that they were never introduced in the series before, like the Grey Wisp. Other wisp are quite easy to understand what they do. For example, the White Wisp is the Goose Wisp, for example. The Rocket, the Q, these are okay. One of the reasons I'm using Zavok is because Zavok... Oh, that was okay. That was very close one, because there's some collision quirk in that point, so if I don't do that stun correctly, I will just end out of bounds. That's a really huge time loss. So I was saying that the reason I'm using Zavok is not only because of his max boost. He has the best boost in the entire game. Okay, that was unlucky. But also because he's a power character. So the characters in this game are divided into three main types. We have speed characters, which are supposed to be the fastest one, but they're actually not. They're quite average. Then we have the tech characters. Eggman is the tech character, and we will actually use it in the next race. And Zavok is a power character. Power characters are honestly the best overall, because they have the highest boost stat, they are quite heavy, which means that they can basically better resolve collisions with other cars, and they have some unique quirks, because if they ram into objects, they will not be hit by the objects, but they will get rings instead. Okay, that's not okay. Oh, okay. That's going so bad. Okay, boost, which is appreciated, but kinda useless now. Okay, you're seeing one of the team mechanics here, which is basically a slingshot. And we are going to use the team ultimate anyway. This is a really bad place to use it, because for some reason... that's the reason that's a bad choice. But that's okay anyway. Not a big time loss. Because that last curve is so hard to do while you're using the team ultimate. So the next track is actually Doctor's Mind, one of my most favorite tracks. And we are going to use Eggman in this track, because Eggman, as a tech characters have another very type-specific mechanics, which means that tech characters can go out of bounds without slowing down. Off-road, basically, rather than out of bounds. Which is useful because we can basically cut corners in a way that other characters just cannot do. Yeah, Chao is also a tech character, so you can easily see how it did. So this section here is something that you cannot do with Zao, for example. I maybe should explain something about the boost mechanic here, because of course the boost mechanic is extremely important in general in the game. Okay, that was slow, but still okay. Zavok, so you can see that the AI completely broke, because if you see in the minimap, Zavok is basically standing still, and that's quite unfortunate. Okay, it started moving again. Thank you, Zavok. This is not necessarily a bad thing, by the way, because I don't know if the position, the placement of the AI has some effect on the RNG during the item transfer. Oh, okay. That was not what I expected. Okay, so the boost mechanic here is really complex, I was telling before. So when you stand, when you drift enough, you can basically accumulate your boost and you get to release it whenever you go, whenever you want, or almost whenever you want. So if I drift, you can see that okay, that's the lightning wisp and the earthquake just before. The earthquake sometimes is very easy to avoid because you can just drive to another side of the road, but that's not always the case, by the way. The lightning wisp is basically unavoidable. So boosting in this game is a really complex mechanic. So whenever you drift, you can basically charge up to a level 3 boost, and the level you charge, you can easily see it by the colors behind your exhaust: red, purple and blue, which is more white than blue, by the way. Anyway, you can actually get a boost which is over level 3, because the game actually allows up to a level 6 boost, but they cannot really be achieved unless with complex mechanics which are boost stacking, which means you can basically stack 2 or more sources of boost together. But in the previous game that was actually worth it. In this game sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. And you can also stand in the air. Yeah, I didn't feel like wanting an incentive, but thank you anyway for asking. This is another nice track because you can usually get... Okay, thank you AI for ramming into me and letting me lose my charge. So another thing that is really annoying in this game is that basically whenever the AI runs into you, and they really like to do it a lot, as you can easily see, they can basically drive you off track the majority of times. I swear, this run is going so badly today, but you cannot really do much about that because, as I told earlier, this is basically completely RNG. 90% of this game is RNG because the AI sometimes they act so stupid, and other times they act really smart. By the way, this race is quite easy once you master this only trick, that is the only really difficult trick in this track. Which is something that I actually learned in time trials, because there is a very big community for this game, and the majority of people basically only play time trials because it's mostly a tradition that we inherited from ASRT. Okay, let's go to the next one. Another thing that you are seeing me doing quite often is that I start drifting before any ramps, and I tend to roll left or right depending on the ramp, which is actually useful because when you stand in the air, if you roll, your car will actually be displaced left or right, which means that you can actually gain more distance by doing this. Okay. Push, get away, push. Oh boy. The RNG is so terrible today. You almost never shook me there. Yeah, the music is nice. Most of the music in this game are quite good, to be honest. And that's one of the very, very few good things in this game, to be honest. Okay, the AI is acting really, really stupid because sometimes it just refuses to get items, and the item trading mechanic is quite an essential one to charge my team ultimate bar. So once I am in the lead, there should be no issue at all. But the only issue is whenever the AI starts getting the few unavoidable items I told before, because there is some really strange stuff happening in the game while regarding these two items, especially the rock pillars, which is the earthquake wisp, because it's actually not RNG when it's going to spawn. I mean, yeah, exactly. Okay, that was easy. So basically in the game fights, the configuration of the game is easy enough to see for any experienced hacker or programmer or whatever. So basically the game basically is rigged, which means that every 90 seconds someone is guaranteed to get the earthquake wisp, which means that you know it, you have to prepare yourself, because every 90 seconds more or less the rock pillars are going to spawn somewhere. By the way, this was nice enough. Let's start, but overall okay. And that's the reason I kept my ultimate. But this race overall was nice. Under 3 minutes, which is good.
Not bad for lacking.
And the next one is going to be terrible because the RNG is not really acting well today. So Whale Lagoon is one of the stages that were basically ported from the original All Stars Racing game. And to be honest, I think there are 9 tracks that were ported over that game. So really not much original content, to be honest. Ah, okay. The Flame Wisp. But I got the skin boost, which is okay. So the skin boost is a mechanic in which basically if one of your teammates basically overtakes you with enough speed and very close to you, it will basically give you a speed boost. Okay, this game is acting strange again. So for whatever reason, the PC version of this game is not really good. And by not good I mean it's almost garbage. So if you want to play this game, my first advice is don't. And the second advice is, if you really want, don't buy the PC version, buy the PlayStation 4 version, which is, from a quality perspective, much better. The PC version is sometimes is really no. I mean, it's fine, but sometimes it acts really strange. Basically, there is some really outstanding issues with the graphics, because for whatever reason sometimes the FPS drops to 30 for some elements, like the track itself, but other elements do keep their 60 FPS, which is really strange, to be honest, and completely messes up if you are used to 60 FPS gaming. In the PlayStation 4 version this doesn't happen. And another thing is the online experience. The online experience on PC is just basically not existent, and the reason is that when they actually published this game, roughly at the end of May, the online was completely broken. And by broken, I really mean it. It just didn't work. So you could create a lobby, you could start a game, but basically every 2 tracks the lobby would crash each single time, systematically. And that's just terrible for a racing game in which you want to play online. So they actually they didn't patch it. They actually made a patch that added some basically party functionality in the online, which is something that, for example, the PlayStation 4 version had since day one, which is so incredible. And basically the online experience is currently still bad, and it's just so bad that basically all of the people who play this game basically stopped caring about the online, and they just returned to ASRT, which has much better online experience. So yeah, the online for this game is basically dead. They waited 2 months and they didn't patch anything, and it's very unlikely that they will actually patch anything else out of this game, which is kinda sad, because the game itself is not really bad, but the bugs in this game are quite a few. So you cannot really see right now on stream, but on my PC it's quite clear that I'm actually playing at 30 FPS, but my car moves at 60, which is something really stupid and really unsettling. And yeah, the AI doesn't want my item, so... Okay, I have my team ultimate bar, which is very lucky because just in time for avoiding this. Okay, that was nice. So the team ultimate is sometimes a double-edged sword because your handling gets weird and your traction or stuff like that, you just can't handle your car really well. This was actually not a bad race. Yeah, this was nice. Okay.
You've served me well so far.
So the next one, if I remember, okay, yeah, Frozen Junkyard, which is another track in which we will use Zavok. The next one, Hidden Volcano, we are actually going to use Eggman. And maybe I can show you the golem bug if that glitch happens, because I don't know what triggers it. Okay, so this is another track which has some, I don't know if it's a bug or some strange stuff happening. Right at the end, I will show you later. The reason I want Zavok in this track is these ice walls, because of course, as I told earlier, with Zavok you can just run through them. With other characters you will actually slow down and lose your rings. Rings are actually important in this game because they increase your max speed by something like 3 kilometers per hour, if I remember correctly. Let's say that it's not a negligible increase because I have looked at the game files. So basically the base speed for each car is around 50. It can of course change a little according to your stats, but so a 3 kilometers per hour increase over 50 is basically a 6% increase of your max speed, which is quite good, to be honest. So my teammates of course are okay, and they're not far behind as I thought, and they're actually trading items, which is nice. Sometimes they will just break and not accepting any item. This is actually going quite smoothly. But my main objective right now is getting a team ultimate or charge fast enough. Ah, okay. I didn't want to release my boost there, but shit happens. Okay, just in time to avoid that. Okay, so the bug is this spring. So sometimes, okay, that didn't happen. So sometimes these springs are supposed to basically get you on rails, and basically they script a jump. You cannot do anything outside what they would really want you to do. But sometimes that spring makes you do a really small jump, and it's actually quite a time loss. Mostly 1 second time loss over each lap, if that happens every lap. But the AI doesn't want me to give boost or good items anyway. Why? Oh my god. This is so unlucky. No boost. Running into the wall 2 times. Okay, that was nice. Even lap 3 the jump was okay. Oh, now you give me the boost when I basically don't need it anymore. Thank you, game. I really hate you, game.
Bad for lackeys.
So, hit the volcano, which is a really bad track for whatever reason, because the gravity in this game is not really gravity. So gravity in this game works like a magnet. So the ground is like a magnet, it attracts your car, which means that sometimes if your car position is... Okay, Shadow, please! Why? So I was telling you about the gravity in this game. So doesn't really act like normal gravity. It acts much like a magnet, which means that sometimes if your car gets for whatever reason into the wrong position, you will basically lose completely every kind of gravity. And you can easily understand why, because the morphology of the track is not really made for standard gravity behavior. Oh, thank you for the boost, finally. Let's see if we can... Okay. So, when you land after stunting, you sometimes can keep your charge and release it in the most useful moment, which is nice. Give me the golem bag. Yeah, golem bag. So the golem is supposed to smack on the street, smash the street left and right, but sometimes when you enter lap 2 and sometimes lap 3, but that's less common, the animation resets for whatever reason. That's another bug that people didn't think it was worth fixing. I think that this also happens in the PS4 version, by the way. So argument is really useful here because you can basically drive off-road without slowing down. Oh, another triple boost. Thank you. And another thing about this game is that there are some sections of the game when the game just stutters like terribly bad. And I think that actually happens because of this game has the nouveau, so that might be it, but I'm not sure about that. Oh, that was too far, okay. Ah, okay. That was greedy. My fault. Why? So whenever I stunt fail, I get hit or something like that, I lose my rings, and my main objective is to restore my max speed by getting rings as soon as possible. Ooh, okay. That was nice until now. You can easily see why the stone pillars are quite annoying. By the way. Okay, 330. That's not bad. And I led first, but my teammates were so bad that at the end of the race, when the game gives you points according to the position for each of your teammates, I basically don't get to first place as a team race, but second, sometimes third. That's because the AI is, I mean, I don't know why. It's most like the game didn't think they should tune your AI to act good whenever you are playing good. Which is sad, because sometimes you are in first place and your teammates are 11 and 3rd and 12th place. Give me some boost, okay. Oh boy, that burst was unlucky. And that bomb is also unlucky. Okay, I avoid that. Of course, they had to steal my boost. Oh boy, I'm in last place. Oh, yeah, that's. I mean, I have proof the AI in this game basically cheats, and because I have some video footage of basically myself shooting rockets at the AI, and the AI just didn't care. It's just I never hit them, and I hit the AI twice, and they just didn't care. So I have proof they are actually cheating in this game. And not only that, they actually are rubber banding quite a lot, because when you are in first place, they can get basically something like 1.5 or basically, or sometimes even twice their supposed max speed. So yeah, the rubber banding is really bad. Yeah, exactly. Teammates sometimes they are terribly bad. Okay. The start was bad, but the rest of the race is quite good, honestly. And sometimes I'm really disappointed by this game, because every time the game stutters, sometimes you just want to do some quick input like switch direction, start drifting, use an items or stuff like that. And if that happens while the game is stuttering, the game will basically eat your input. Sometimes that's terrible, because if you want to switch drift, which is a mechanic I didn't explain, which basically means switching from left drifting to right drifting and vice versa, which preserve your boost charge. If you want to do that and the game stutters, you will just don't switch drift. I mean, you will just ram into a wall and lose everything you charge up to that moment. Which makes this game so incredibly unfair. Oh, nice. Thank you for the skin boost. So another source of disappointment is that the AI basically doesn't care about your... It's mostly like... Okay. You can easily see how the item spam in this game is sometimes even worse than Mario Kart. So they are so good at aiming at you. Oh, the spikes. Yeah, they are really good at aiming at you. For whatever reason. Okay, that jump was weird. So whenever you are boosting, and basically the AI really likes to basically bump into you, hitting you, basically physically going into contact with you, as I just shown. When that happens, basically you lose all your speed that you basically have, and you basically revert to base speed, which is unlucky. I mean, this game is going so horribly, so... That's the reason why the spikes are one of the most powerful items in this game. Because every time the AI starts to target you, bump into you, with the spikes you will just hit them. Which, by the way, doesn't prevent them from, of course, bumping into you. You will just get your sweet revenge. Okay, let's go. Okay, why are you doing this? Okay, this is a really huge speed loss. This race alone is something like 10 seconds time loss over my personal best, to be honest, something like that. Because that's what is really annoying in this game. Basically, every time you get hit, it's something like a 5 seconds time loss, which is huge, because every time you're hit, you completely slow down and you completely stop, and then you have to restart, which means that if you have a car with a slow acceleration, like Zavok, you lose a lot of time. Okay. And it looks like that, well, okay, that was nice, but I'm really concerned about Blaze right now, because it was actually acting quite good in the previous race. I mean, there's also this issue, because this game actually requires quite a lot of focus, and most of my times were actually gotten. I actually have the world record for basically all the categories in this game, but that's not because I am good. It's just because most of the really good people in this game, they really don't care about this game anymore, as I told earlier. So okay, why are you doing this? Oh, Metasonic, you're actually helping me today. Thank you. Oh, I also have the ultimate charge, which is nice, because the rock pillars are going to spawn very soon. As I told earlier, that's not RNG, so... The game is dead, but the reason it's dead is mostly because the developers didn't care enough. So they just released it, they opened a a bug report thread on Steam forums, for example, and they basically just left everything like it is and never fixed anything, because there are something like 600 bug reports for this game, and most of them are graphical glitches and sometimes even some stuff in the engine, because the game engine is the same as ESRT, so we know that's how it works, but they changed something in the mechanics, so they obviously had to tweak some things, and they introduced some really stupid bug. So for example, there is this speed bug, which is basically when you boost, sometimes your boost basically doesn't work. You just have the animation for a boost, but your speed doesn't actually increase. And that's actually stupid, because that's actually a quite stupid bug. Oh, stop with that laser, please. Oh, he's going to hit me very soon. Okay. Oh, finally. I have a nice lap free. I actually saved a couple of seconds looking at my splits.
Not bad, right?
So, next one is going to be Sun Road. This is really challenging as a track, and the reason is that there are very few item boxes in this track, and the AI really likes to use them as soon as they get an item, which means that trading items with your teammates is going to be really hard. You see, that cube was meant to hit me. Thank God it didn't. Here. That was so slow. Okay. No, I don't want this. You can keep it and give me some good item. Oh, not this one. Give me something else. Okay, the cube, no. But it's still okay, because as long as they are exchanging item, it means the AI is not broken yet. Okay, that was a nice jump. That was almost a nice jump, but okay. I mean, this track can probably be done with Eggman. I don't think Eggman would be a disadvantage in this track, because there are a lot of corners that you can cut through using Eggman. Why are you doing this to me, game? So another thing they really need to fix, but they probably never will, is the team ultimate mechanic. As you can see, makes your physics extremely bouncy. And whenever you bounce into something, most of the time you're going to lose all your speed. Okay. Now we are going to the good tracks in this game, which are basically the last 6. No, oh yeah, Boo's House. We need to do this too. Okay, Boo's House is nice, I guess. It's very, very technical, and as long as the AI, yeah, I mean last. I don't mean last because I thought we were way far ahead in the game than I actually am. So I'm sorry. Oh, that cube. I'm really annoyed because right now I'm still playing at 30 FPS for whatever reason. And seeing the truck moving at 30 FPS but my character at 60 is just wrong. So I'm not actually going to use the T mechanics here, I just want to use this invisibility item. It's just better and much more consistent way of doing this track. And this portal, I'm actually going to the right of it. Because for some reason, the trigger, that portal is going to basically teleport you back to the beginning of the track, but for some reason, the trigger for the teleport itself is much closer to the right side of the track than it is to the left side. So if you are going to the right side, you are going to be teleported quickly to the beginning of the track. Okay. As you can see, the AI basically... Oh, they are actually offering me an item, so yeah. I had to say I was about to tell something wrong. Okay, that was close, but quite nice. So you can see the rubber banding, as I told you before, with Blaze. You can see in the minimap how Blaze is close to me compared to the rest of the AI. So yeah, so in this run Blaze is going to be really hard to deal with. Okay. I actually failed to get that invisibility. That's bad. This was such a nice track. Yeah, it looks satisfying because it's a very technical track. It's way harder than it looks. Clockwork Pyramid, a really nice and good track. Really hard, very technical. Even this track is quite hard to master. And I'm actually going to use Eggman here. I'm actually going to fail the boost start here, because I don't know why, but for some reason I think there's some RNG manipulation that can be done there, but I also want to use that slingshot boost from Zavok using Eggman, so that's fine. Oh, triple boost. Nice. So the fast way to do this track is going through the quicksand there, but I'm actually not doing that because otherwise I'll go too fast and I get to the wrong cycle here and be hit by these teams here. Okay, that's bad. I'm actually supposed to hit the road, but it's okay, I guess. No, I'm playing on PC. I'm not playing on PS4. I don't have the PS4 version, and honestly, ASRT is so much good in the PC version and much better than the console version. Then most people originally thought that the PC version was going to be the best one, and actually it's not. But that's my that's it, I guess. Oh boy. And we have the rock pillars, great. Really fantastic. Oh, I voted. Okay. That's good. No, this is on PC. It's not on Xbox. So you see there? I released the boost and basically my car didn't accelerate. That's really an annoying bug. Because this is going to make me lose a lot of time. Because it doesn't look like it, but boosting in this game is really fast. So each time you don't boost, you're going to lose a lot of time. That's not a joke. Oh, triple boost, nice again. It was a nice layout for the rock pillars. Can we do this right at least once, please? Okay. Oh, finally. Okay, finally, good. This is not going to be a time save, but at least I managed to do that trick right at least once. My PB in this track is 3 and 33, so I basically lost 10 seconds just to really stupid stuff. By the way, we are in the Market Street. No, not Eggman, I want Zabok. Market Street is... originally I thought it was a nice track, but it's really annoying because there is some really weird quirk, especially at the end of the track. Oh, the bomb. Oh, this was lucky. Please. Why is the AI behaving so badly today? So you cannot just... It's impossible to predict some of the hits the AI are going to... and the stuff the AI is... Okay, that freeze was not normal. But that's just something that really shows you how bad this game is. Just freezes for a couple of seconds for no reason at all. I mean, my CPU usage at this moment is 15%, so I have really a good CPU power to spare, and this game freezes nonetheless. It's not marathon AI unluckiness, it's just very bad AI programming. And yeah, another boost at any release there. Did you see? And that's the reason most people basically lost interest towards this game, because a racing game that is so broken at the like this is. I mean, I play it when I want to meme around and joke around, but there are way better the games than this. No joke. Another thing that you quite often you are seeing here is that the rock pillars and the lightning strike are very close to each other each single time. I mean, which means of course that the RNG is broken in this game, because they are not supposed to be so close every single time. It's like having two blue shells one after another. In Mario Kart you would think that someone is cheating. In this game it's just broken stuff. I mean, the fact that you have to enter and exit the option menu in order to prevent some graphical glitches from appearing is just stupid. And another freeze just right at the end.
Not bad for lackeys.
I mean, Crash Team Racing is overall just a better game than this, and I'm actually waiting for this game to be released on PC, and I'll probably stop playing this game when Crash Team Racing is released on PC. Because imagine when all these speed bugs and stuff like that, they do happen in time trials, and you lose your world record time just because the game didn't think you were worthy of getting it. All Stars Racing is way better than this. Okay, so let's start. Sky Road. This track. Maybe I didn't tell before, but this track is the most broken track in the entire game. And I mean, I can probably show you because I'm not doing a speedrun that I will submit to speedrun.com. But basically, this section here has some really respawn glitches. They completely messed up with the respawns, which means that if you get off track in that section, you will automatically respawn at the end of that section. Which is so stupid. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you this later. Then the end of this lap. So you're not supposed to do this in a racing game. So respawning at the end of the section just because you fall off the track, that's just stupid. There's another, and there are all, of course, some boundary breaks here. The lightning strike was really lucky. So if you get hit while bouncing on that in the balloons, you will basically not lose your speed, because as I said earlier, these jumps are scripted. So basically what happens here is that you fall off here, you respawn here, and you respawn at the end of the section. That's just stupid. Yeah, I mean, it's something that is not allowed during a speedrun usually, but honestly I don't care here, so. But that skip is so easy to do. Basically anyone could do it. First try. Okay. Let's end with this track because I really don't like it. Time to show it again, I guess. Let's get here. You respawn in the right position so you don't have to move. You respawn at the end of the section. Talk about broken things in this game.
Served me well so far.
Okay. Hunter Castle, Eggman. Okay, this track is also broken, but for completely different reasons. Many people stop playing this game because this track and the track that is after this one, they just don't load in their computers. And sometimes this track loads, but it takes something like 5 minutes, and I'm not joking. It takes 5 minutes to load this track. And nobody knows why this bad RNG. Nobody knows why this happens, because luckily for me I have not this issue, but this issue is real. Too many people reported this. And when you have to wait 5 minutes just to loading a track, it just becomes not worth it. And they actually never fix that, which means that another reason why, for example, the online crashes so often is that if someone gets this track while playing offline, someone is going to crash their game, give a timeout, because of course the game is not gonna wait 5 minutes for everyone to load this track. So yeah, and the game just crashes. If playing offline, the game doesn't crash, but 5 minutes waiting for loading a track, that's just wrong. Oh, okay, I didn't expect that. I'm just distracted today, looking too much at the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Another really weird quirk in the physics. For some reason you can just get a jump which completely sets you off track. You lose your racing lane, your rhythm. Okay. game. Stop showing me 30 FPS. It's just annoying. It's just wrong. I guess it doesn't want to listen to me. Not a single boost item. That's unlucky. Oh well. It wasn't bad anyway. Okay, so we're actually quite ahead of the schedule, so we're actually going to run through the last 3 tracks in the game. I didn't expect to be so fast in a marathon anyway. So, Thunder Deck. No, not last. We are going to do other 3. That was not the end. So this is Standard Deck. I really like this. It's really enjoyable. And unfortunately for the people who need to wait 5 minutes to load this track, it's quite a fun track. And if I remember correctly, it was originally present also in the original All Stars Racing. Okay, so. Okay, nice jump. Eggman is so much better in this track because these tight curves, and they are really difficult to do with Zavok. You can do that, you can run through this stage like Zavok, but probably you need to basically throttle and slow down a lot, and sometimes just not worth it. It's just better to use a different character. Because Eggman is actually not a fast character, but he has a very good acceleration, and that makes up for that. Ah. Oh, please. Of course. Oh! Okay, I'm immune to that. Okay, so if you're immune to that, it means that that item was shot by one of your teammates. The problem is that you have no way to tell whether that item was shot by one of your teammates or not. Which is another really annoying stuff, because if you knew that was used by your teammates, of course your strategy would be different. Yeah. RIP. The AI is not collaborating today. Another rock pillar? Oh, that's just unlucky. Lucky for me, I have the team ultimate this time. Also, the team ultimate, for some reason, it can really get you insane speed. But sometimes it just won't, and nobody knows the reason. Okay, that's actually a time save. Okay, so we still need to do 2 tracks, Dark Arsenal, in which I will actually use Eggman again, but it's probably... Yeah, the Team Ultimate, I mean, the team mechanics are basically the only addition that have been made in this game that makes this game different from the others, but that's not really something that I would say makes this game memorable, because it's really not. Oh yeah, I use a skip here. So you see that those lasers, that is an intended shortcut, but it's cycle based, so you cannot actually get the shortcut if the lasers are active. By the way, there are some... They basically made some mistakes into putting the collisions in that section, so you can actually take the shortcut even if the laser is active. You will be hit, you will lose your rings, that's for sure, but as long as you take the shortcut, that doesn't matter, because the shortcut adds 5 seconds. So if the laser is not active, you can just do this and whatever, because as I said earlier, this is just intended. If the laser is active, like here, I will use this basically, I will explain basically the physics. As I said earlier, when you roll on the side, your car is actually displaced left or right, and if you do that while you are being hit, the animation that makes you go displaced on the left or on the right, it will still be in effect, which means that even if you get hit, you will go to the right just a tiny bit, that is enough to get the spring and get the shortcut. So if you get the spring, that doesn't matter anymore, because you get invincibility frames, so the rest of the shortcut is okay. And it's not difficult to do that, so, and it's really consistent. Okay, that should be it. Okay, now the laser is off, so we can just go here without any issue. I would really like if the AI would give me some boost items, but okay, in that case I had the ultimate still active, so of course the laser could not affect me. Okay. Oh, 3:17. That's a really nice time, I have to say. Let's be honest. Okay, Turbine Loop. This is the last race of the speedrun. And it's really small, really underwhelming as a last stage, but it's okay, because this run was pretty bad anyway. Rouge, please stop. And yeah, we have a level 2. For whatever reason I'm playing 30 FPS again. So the game just does that. Goes to 30 FPS mode, then resets to 60 and goes to 30 again. I don't know if it's something that is related to my setup. But even if this is specific to my computer, there are other stuff that definitely is happening to other people as well. Oh yeah, the song. I should probably stop talking and making you listen to the song. So time is gonna be when I cross the finish line. So be ready. And time. Okay, so my total time is 1 hour 40 minutes and 34 seconds, which is actually better than I expected. And this is real time. In this game uses IGT, in-game timer. So I have, of course, my in-game timer in my PC right now, and the in-game timer right now is 1 hour, 1 minute and 47 seconds, which is basically 30 seconds over the world record, which is actually not a bad time. I thought it was way worse than that. So I actually managed to recover sometimes just in this race and in the previous one. The previous one I basically saved 20 seconds, which is quite nice, to be honest.
Well, I'm actually surprised because, okay, I might have messed up and I actually might have hit one of the hotkeys while I was working on other things, so I might have paused the timer for a bit, but
don't worry about that.
because your timer, your real time is actually 1 minute 11, I mean 1 hour 11 minutes 49 seconds, which I'm like, no, this can't be, because that's faster than your real time on the speedrun.com.
Exactly. No, it's something like 30 seconds over my time on speedrun.com, which is better than I expected. Anyway,
Wow.
I expected way worse than that,
Mhm.
especially in a marathon. So yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising that you were not that far away from your in-game time.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you were like saying a lot of things like, this is so bad RNG and stuff. I was
yeah,
like, what?
I mean, if you watch my run, the RNG is just better there, but my driving skills are not, which is the main reason I had a good time there, and I cannot manage to get a good time now, because my driving skills have, of course, improved by the 200 hours of playing time I had in this game, but the RNG is something random, so you basically have to grind a lot if you want to improve that time, and of course I have basically no willpower to do it if I already have the world record.
Alright. Well, thank you so much for playing this. There was actually some pretty fun technical things you've done during your run. I forgot which section it was, but you were like telling me this looks harder than it is.
Yeah, there are lots
yeah.
of stuff that are way harder than they look in this game, but unfortunately I think I didn't submit ASRT for this marathon, but I really would have liked to, but I have some issue with that game, so I cannot play that game consistently for now because of issue with my computer. But ASRT is much more technical than this, and I really mean it. If you watch, I think people should go and watch some speedrun for ASRT, because the engine is exactly the same, the physics is the same as this game. They really changed minor stuff, and of course ASRT has the transformation mechanic, which means you are going to race on water and you are going to place over the air as planes and boats, but that game is so much more technical than this that you'll be honestly surprised, because this game looks as a real downgrade compared to that, and I really mean it, because it's sad that they made a game that it looks so good, but they really didn't. It looks like they really didn't care much about it, because this game could have been so much better than it actually is. By the way.
Yeah, someone said in the chat that they were a bit disappointed that they should have put more effort into this game, because it looks good.
That's true. I mean, they should. The main point is that 9 tracks over the 21 tracks of this game are just ported tracks from the previous games. Which means that almost half of the game is reused content. That's sad.
Oh, it's sad.
Yeah, that's sad. By the way,
all right.
I think we are done here, and thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you so much for running this game. It was actually a bit more fun than I expected.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.